I'm going to take just a quick look at the round 11 results played on the 30th and 31st of December and the 1st of January. And then once we've done that, a quick look at the table as well. So starting on Friday results. So Edinburgh 25, Glasgow 32. Glasgow, it was kind of tight early on, and then Glasgow pulled away at the end. Edinburgh, the last minute of the game or so, got a score to get the losing bonus point, but going to be disappointed losing at home to Glasgow, though Glasgow coming into some good form and doing the double over Edinburgh this season. Then we have Zebre 17, Benetton 40. No surprises that Benetton are, the superior team in Italy. Zebre, I've said it the last few rounds, they've really fallen off from where they were at the start of the season. Hopefully they, after the block of European games, they can actually put a decent run into the end of the season and maybe even pick up a win before then. But right now, not looking in great form. Next, we have the Sharks 47, Bulls 20. The margin in this one is a bit of a surprise, but a Sharks fan did say to me that the Sharks were going to come good towards the end of the season, so maybe they're right there. So those two teams really kind of neck and neck in the table as well. So it's going to be interesting to see who gets the upper hand by the end of the season between those two. Bulls, not a great way for them to finish this block in the URC going into European games, so gonna want to bounce back from that. Then we have Stormers 40, Lions 8. Lions, another one who have had some decent results, but then they, produce a performance like this. Like they weren't that far off the Stormers in the first half, but the Stormers just turned on the style in the second half and pulled away. I do have a full review of this game on the channel if you want to go and check that one out. And there's also one of the Edinburgh-Glasgow one there too. I don't have ones for the other games simply because I didn't watch the full game. And, for me, I need to watch the game at least once if I'm going to do an actual review on the game. Into the Sunday games, then I do have two reviews on these ones. The first one, Cardiff 19, Ospreys 22, I don't have, but, well done to the Ospreys really from such a lowly position for them to be able to put one over on Cardiff. But that one, Cardiff, we're probably looking at this one as another one for them to win and maybe cement their place as the top team in Wales and also within the knockout bracket as well. But, going to have to improve from there. Then we have Ulster 14, Munster 15. Full review of this one on the channel. Ulster, they had their chances, but they just couldn't put Munster away. Munster came back strong at the end and nicked the win. Then Scarlets 33, Dragons 17. Surprised that the Dragons didn't, make more of a fight of this one. And Scarlet's going to be happy to pick up the win there. Then the final game was Leinster 41, Connacht 12. Connacht didn't actually play all that badly. Again, full review of this one on the channel. Leinster just have that ability to be so clinical that they can just eke away from teams, even when you think that they're fairly even. One thing Connacht did do was they really disrupted the Leinster lineout. So Leinster are going to have to sort that one out before going into Europe. Okay, let's look at the table now. So Leinster leading the way, 11 from 11. What can you say about them? They're having a great season, but they're still going to be mindful of what happened to them at the end of last season. They're going to want to, keep the foot on the gas all the way to the end this time. Stormers then in second place, pulling away from Ulster, who are, right now they're not in danger of falling away in terms of not making the playoffs, but if their bad form continues, other teams are going to catch them and pass them. In fourth, then we have the Bulls, who at the moment have a 5-point gap back to the Sharks, but the Sharks did beat them at the weekend. So Sharks looking to close on them, but then look at the teams so close behind them then. The Warriors on the same amount of points, down in 6th with 29. Benetton also with 29 down in 7th. Cardiff there in 8th, the final spot at the moment for the knockout stages on 28 points. Then Munster just a point back in 9th. Edinburgh a couple of points back in 10th. The Lions there in 11th on 24. Ospreys on 23. And Connacht then in 13th place on 20. You know, for Connacht and Ospreys, maybe they're going to have to produce a really good run of form to challenge for those knockout places. But anyone from Munster down to the Lions are going to feel like they definitely have a chance there. They just need a win or two to go their way to force their way into the reckoning there. Then at the bottom of the table, you have Dragons in 14th, still kind of hanging on the coattails of Connacht there, and still a bit of separation for them down to the Scarlets, who beat them at the weekend, but Scarlets obviously closing the gap with that win. Still, Dragons are going to want to finish above them if they can for this to be, you know, a kind of a statement season for them, really, to be honest. You know, from being the always the worst Welsh region, hopefully they can cling on to deliver that by the end of the season. Zebra Parma still at the bottom there, still on 4 points. Been a while since they picked up any points at all. That early form season seems a distant memory for them at the minute. So that's how your table is. We're into Europe now. This week, I am moving countries, moving to Spain on Monday. So it's going to be middle of the week, towards the end of the week, by the time any other videos probably come out. So talking Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even up to Friday with reviews from this coming weekend. But then the week after that, we should be back a bit tighter to, you know, the days that the games are played. So see you guys then.